Hi guys, my name is Pascaline Ozodukwe and I am one of your hosts for the BG series. I know before now you've been having a lot of fun on the show, but Pascaline is here to give you all the sauce and the gist, tell you how it is in the workforce. But before we go, come, let me introduce you to how I do things. Come with me.
All right, so like we were saying, these Gen Zs and millennials in today's workforce, they have different response and reaction to things. I will measure who falls into what category.
What generation, yeah.
Exactly. So bring it home because it's a proper discussion today and I want to welcome everybody on set today. It's the BG series and we are talking the workforce in today's society. With me is...
Hi everyone, my name is Pascaline. What? I'm excited to be here. I can't help it. I'm excited to be here and I will be your co-host for today.
Okay, so fortunately, my name is Caesar, fortunately for me, and I'm hosting this show. So you may see me so often like that, but with me are wonderful people on set. I have Chioma, she's a recruitment specialist. I have Toby, who is a developer. I have Nimi, who is a creative, and Mr. Sheyi, who is a financial and marketing analyst. You're all welcome on set.
Thank
you very much. So over to you. Firstly, I like your hair.
Thank you.
I must mention that I like your hair.
Thank you. I'm always like trying to look pink all the time.
Gen Z vibes.
No. I agree not. I disagree. I think I'm more of a millennial. I think I'm more like a Gen Z, but I think like millennial.
Pick your struggle.
I don't know.
Okay.
So
there are millennials and there are Gen Zs, and those are the people that have more like, those are the people that occupy the workforce today. They are people that get things done. From the end of the employers to the employees, you have millennials and Gen Zs. And that's what we want to talk about today. So, I don't know, who wants to take up that conversation first? Because I have very excited people here. Or is something you want to be shipping?
So I always feel like the workforce is all encompassing with a lot of generations. So we have from the boomers down to the Gen Zs now. But personally for me, and I would throw that question to Chioma, where do you identify? And when we talk about your work experience and how you've worked with other people, how do you communicate with these two generations?
Okay, I'd like to identify as a millennial. However...
She wants to be a millennial.
No, because that's what I am, really.
Okay.
Though. However, I like the work ethics or the work structure of the Gen Zs, right? Because, of course, they bring in the remote thing. You work... you do your interviews from home right now. As a recruitment specialist, instead of you having people coming down to the office, right? All you just have to do is to send them a link, right? Send them a link and then you have a one-way interview or you have a two-way interview depending on, right? It makes work easier for you and then you're able to select here, right? So instead of you coming down, traveling all the way, some people will tell you, oh, I'm running late, or something happened, oh, you have traffic, Lagos traffic,
or you're staying in my white shirt.
Right.
There's always an excuse.
There's always an excuse. So you eliminate all that and then have your session, right? So the person's at the comfort of their space, wherever, the office or their house, and then they're able to, and they're more comfortable, right? Because sometimes you get people who are physically present and then they don't give you their all because maybe they're nervous or the kind of panel they get to see in person making them, they don't bring out their best, but with a virtual interview, it makes life easier for you. Yes. So that's what the whole Gen Z thing. And then plus COVID, post-COVID.
Yeah, so COVID brought a lot.
Yes, post-COVID actually brought a lot, right? Okay. So it kind of makes work easier for us right now compared to before when I was looking for a job, right?
looking for a job in the millennial way of doing it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. What I would ask, because for me, what I understand is that the watchword is for the Gen Zs is comfort. So for whatever it is they do, they look for comfort, the most comfortable and easiest and entertaining way of doing it.
Easiest way to do things, right?
Yeah. Why is it like that?
So, okay.
No, you can actually say that.
So I would say It is. So, should I break it down to Nigeria?
Yeah, you can bring it down
Yeah,
anyway.
so I feel most of the, no, not millennials, the ones before the millennials, or what I call them, they feel
Baby boomers.
yes, they feel if they don't see you active in the office and all
That
that,
you're not
you're
doing
not
anything.
working. You're
That's
just
right.
so
Right.
so
That was the mindset.
yeah, that if a lot of them have that mindset, I won't say all. So
Yes.
the fact that you bring up working from home, they feel you're playing. They
that.
just feel you're not doing what you would do at the office. And most of the times when you come to the office and see people working, you see that sometimes they are done with what they are doing and they are just
Passing time.
passing time. So they are playing movies on their laptops. You won't-
Or listening to music.
They came from the generation of Ishiagbe Nishelewa. You know that kind of they
And,
as in, all they know is struggle. You have
Exactly.
to you have to show,
You have to show that
you're
yeah,
working.
yeah, I agree.
Right.
And then my
I agree.
generation, okay, I'm a millennial, so my
Yeah.
generation is the generation that is trying to come out of. Okay, no, I'm not trying to get out of poverty.
Yeah.
They are coming out of poverty.
Poverty,
I'm
yeah.
trying to be okay.
be comfortable.
I want to be able to do to have money. But
Yeah.
then Gen Zs, they're
Easy
not
life.
looking for the
They
money.
want the easy life.
They want
The
the
comfort,
comfort.
right?
I want to work. I want to be productive.
Yeah.
But then,
However, I want to
don't-
do it in my
want to
time
do
and then-
my,
right.
my
Yeah.
space, my time.
Right.
I don't want you to overwork me. I
Yeah.
believe that I
Like-
can be more productive when my mental health is fine.
Fine,
When
yeah.
when I don't look like I don't have to look like my grandmother because
Before
I'm
I'm-
working.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I feel like it's a progression.
Yes.
Our generation were not exposed to technology while we were young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gen
Yes,
Zs,
I
Gen Zs,
agree.
they were practically raised
Born
on the
into
platter
it.
of
Yes,
technology.
exactly.
So they are more
Grew up with
technologically
tabs.
inclined.
They grew up
Yes.
with tabs. Imagine like you have a 2-year-old already.
Listening
She
to
already knows how
I'm
to
telling you, and
Yeah.
they know how to operate
My niece is-
somebody.
by the time my niece was 3, she knows how to operate everybody's devices. And I'm like,
My daughter is 2, and then she knows how to operate all. She knows how to open her phone. She knows how to. She knows the password to my phone. That's
Yeah.
how. And then you're wondering like, how did?
remember those
Yes.
passwords?
How? Thank you.
I
How
think
did she
they're
remember
smart.
that?
I think they're
Password.
quite smarter now. The ones that are being like given birth to now, I think they know more than
Okay, I
they
think
should.
generation
Anyway,
Alpha,
it's-
those ones are
it's
our
the
grandparents
exposure.
because the way they
That's a
they-
different
and
generation
there's
entirely.
this kind of respect they have because I noticed that they are much better than Gen Zs. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
apologies
And
to
more-
Gen Zs.
They're more
They are-
don't let them
and
come
they are
for you,
proud.
though.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
okay,
Yeah,
so-
right.
And they're more comfortable. They're more confident.
Yeah.
And then they know what they want.
Exactly.
And at the same time, they have this empathy that they're
They
young.
show
they're just
emotions
old
also.
souls.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
They're old-
yeah.
they're old
Yeah.
souls.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
So
hear
it's
from
just
you.
that everything has an advantage, also has a disadvantage.
Right.
Okay.
So in as much as we have technological advancement that
Yeah.
makes things easy.
Easier. Yeah.
All right. So you give an example. Our parents, even millennials, when you compare the way they think with Gen Zs, they think more of long term.
Okay.
All right. So if you should get a 3 million naira right now, you will use it more efficiently than a Gen Z, most likely.
Yes.
All right. So
Well, that's one way to look at it. But
when
I'm
you
happy to
get
hear
a
from
3
you. I'm
million
happy to
naira
hear
right
from you.
now,
Okay.
the first thing in your mind is not iPhone 14.
Of course.
No.
No, I would never.
Do you get that?
I will not do that.
Do you get so? The first thing on your mind is not an Air Force, all those Air Force shoes, all of those stuff.
Yeah.
You want to think of, okay,
How can you invest
how can
this?
Yeah, what do we
make,
need to do?
because I'm not sure that 3 million naira can come.
So how
Right.
can I maximize that?
Right.
But they just want to live life,
And,
enjoy life.
and that's
Live in the
because
moment.
it's a
live in the
cycle.
moment. But
It's a
not
cycle.
all.
It's a
I'm not going to
No.
generalize.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not generic, but
Yeah.
it's a cycle because you see, when you look at from our grandparents to our parents to ourselves to Gen Zs, and of course maybe our
Yeah,
children
alphas, of
coming,
course. Then
it has been a reduction of struggle. All right?
True,
So there's a
true.
popular
So
saying
we're
that
trying to practice work-life integration right now than work-life balance. Because before, we were struggling to, I'm going to work and then, okay, I go to work and then I come back and I'm trying to balance
Balance,
my family.
yeah.
But right now, I'm trying to integrate both because I can
so
sit
the
in my house
problem
and then...
the problem now is that it's a cycle. By the time we come from work-life struggle to work-life balance, it will cause another struggle in another aspect.
Okay.
So you are saying
That's
that
another
so
way
we
to
are
look
It
at
is
it.
now
Yeah,
come
one more-
again
one more minute
from
for the
struggling.
So
Right.
Gen Z are just fortunate to be in that line of struggle that things are now
And
a
now
bit
much
easier.
easier.
All right.
All right.
So because let me end the policy that strong men, all right,
Yeah.
make a peaceful environment.
Right.
A
Yes.
peaceful environment make weak men,
Yeah.
which now cause a strong environment again.
True
We now
that.
bring up super
So
strong men
there's just
again.
there's this
True that.
circle.
Exactly.
Okay,
All right,
I
now
get
to
your
add
idea.
to what he said, there's a popular saying that civilization is an implosive event. So it gets to an apex, like a pyramid, it collapses, starts again.
Down.
So what you are saying in that pyramid, the Gen
getting
Zs
to the
happen
apex.
to be in the most, like the apex, the
Yeah.
part where it is softest, easiest
No,
for
I
them.
won't say that. I believe there's a generation after Gen Z.
That
The
is
Gen Alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's
let's-
about it,
okay.
much more
easy.
Much
easy
easier.
Yeah.
than the Gen Zs.
Okay, so like I said, it's a pyramid, and I just feel that the Gen Zs are like located in the most favorable part of it, in the part where it is much easier for them to not have so much struggle. So it's not like they had the platform, but they are just fortunate.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. But let's still give credit to the millennials. I mean, if these people were not flexible enough, the Gen Zs will not have
Be
it
able
as
to
easy as
transition
they are.
into that.
It's
Yeah.
the
True that.
truth. Yeah, they
Yeah,
struggled.
they're riding on the legacy.
See,
The struggle was
right.
the struggle was my pikin not go pass through it.
Yeah.
That was the cliche that whatever my ancestors
Waiting my
denied
eyes
me, I
see
want
my
to
kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
Exactly. So Nimi actually mentioned something about the mental health. And I really want to ask a question because to me, I feel like everybody has their own idea of what mental health is about. And I believe our viewers too want to know, okay, so what's the idea of mental health? Because before you can say, oh, okay, this issue of mental health is affecting the workforce, whether it's in the millennial
stress.
or the Gen Zs, we need to understand that concept of mental health. So I'll give it to Nimi because she mentioned it. So I want her to like further explain what she meant by mental health, right? So
Okay,
Nimi,
I
we'll
feel
have
like
you.
mental health is something that's abused, like in this time.
Very much
A lot of
abused.
people do not even understand what
You
it
can't
means.
talk to me like that.
Depression,
You're disturbing my mental health.
schizophrenia. I hope I pronounced it well. Yeah. Bipolar disorder, PTSD, and all of that. A lot of people are not even suffering from mental health. But then because it's
Everybody
out
is talking
there,
about like mental health. They're
Yeah.
like,
The awareness is out there.
They just want to
Yeah.
identify.
I just can't take the stress.
what did you just do?
The stress of what you just wash that plate and you can't take the stress of washing the dish that you ate with.
Yeah.
No, that is not mental
not
health.
no.
Mental health, like schizophrenia is very common, but people do not know the ability not to think. Like you can't think right. You can't even do things right. There are a lot of people walking around and they are dead. Like walking
They are
dead.
suffering from
You
mental
just see
illness.
someone behaving irrationally and you can't explain it. You're like,
That's why in Nigeria, before you say anything, you say sorry.
Everybody's angry. They're just sorry.
That's actually true.
Sorry,
Because you don't know where that person is coming
Sorry,
from.
can
You
you
don't
pass
know
me
where
the
Reaction you get.
True, facts. That's true.
So
That's true. So let's bring it down to
Okay,
the
to
the
workspace.
workforce and the workspace, right? So I'll ask Toby. So Toby, have you been in a situation where you work, right, where you have a communication with a Gen Z?
Yeah.
Because I want to believe
Yeah,
in a millennial,
yeah.
where they're like, don't give me too much work. Can I do this? Let me do part of the work and I'll do the rest later.
Yeah.
And we as millennials, if I'm correct, is we want to get it done. I can get it done now, so why can't I do it now?
Yeah, so-
right? So
yeah.
how do you combat that?
All right, so I work with a lot of developers who are still Gen Zs. Some are in school, but you have the skill. So it doesn't matter as a developer. It doesn't matter if you're in school because
Right.
you have the skill. You can work. So we always have tight deadlines.
okay.
Like so, you give them a functionality to build on, and for them to deliver in a week. A Gen Z will tell you, this is not possible in a week. But if I give this same task to a millennial, let's say a top developer that is a millennial, the Gen Z also has the same skills as a top developer. But the Gen Z will tell you outrightly straight, even before sitting down to dissect it. You just tell you, say, Oga, this thing can be possible in a week. And tell your directors or what is it that they should you can't work. But the even if it's not doable, the millennial is still ready
Try.
to try. If it doesn't meet up, at least you will not ask for 2 extra days
Yes,
or something.
yes.
Also,
Yes,
right?
it's
So
exactly what I wanted to
have
say is
more
the
trust
mentality
now.
to work.
I have
Yes.
more trust in the millennials, the developer millennials that are working with them, So if I know I need something quick and I'm to dissect these tasks around, I prefer to go to the millennial guy
It has also affected
I
recruitment
was
too.
coming to you,
Yeah.
Chioma, that you sit
It
with these
has
people
also-
on a daily basis.
Yeah, it has also
And then
affected
somebody comes and sits down, is like,
Yes, and
this is
then
a
you
Gen
want-
Z. I'm in an interview now. And I'm like, yeah, so ma'am, what's up? So I'm creative. You have to hire me. You've gone through my CV.
Yes, I've literally had someone like
You
that.
even
A
tried.
couple
You
of
watch
persons
it.
like that.
I watched
The lady literally wore a half cord and then walks into my office. I'm like, excuse you? Like, what are you here for? Are you here for an interview or you're here for a show? She's like, ma'am, I'm here for an interview. I'm like, no, you can't be like this in my interview. Like, you need to go back and dress up and come back.
Did
She's
she
like,
not research the
"But-"
role?
Yeah, but like, no, apparently the role would fit what she looks like, but
Yeah.
she's coming for an interview, so you need to look a certain way.
Okay.
So
until
it's the
you get
thing-
the job.
Yeah.
So I
You
had
can't
to
dress
school her.
down.
I'm like, no. So if you're coming to my office, you don't have to look this way. You need to look a certain way. When you get the job and then your job role requires you to look this way, then why not by all means? But please don't walk into my office that way. And she grumbled. Okay. So,
you need to
but,
go
yeah.
She can go online.
okay,
She can
so
go online.
Yeah,
Go online that night
Yeah.
and tweet.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the
That's
thing.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
exactly.
Okay, guys, so I want to bring it home now. We have all talked about how Gen Zs have their own advantages and how millennials have their advantages and then both their disadvantages, right? I want to ask, and everybody will share from their own experience. If you were to start up a company today, who would you employ more, Gen Zs or millennials? And you tell me why. Huh? So let's start with Chioma.
Okay, so for me, like I said before now, I'd love to go with the millennials. Reason being, I think they are most, not like I think. I have worked with them and I've worked with Gen Zs. I currently work with the baby bloomers as well. But of course, I wouldn't want the baby bloomers. Right, but I prefer the millennials because I feel like they're more stable, right?
Okay.
If you call them to do things on the go, you can call someone outside workspace. I'm not saying that is ethical, that's good, right? But they're able to deliver, and then maybe you give them their time some other time. But if you call in a Gen Z, they're telling you, hell no, this is not my work time.
So
this
I'll
is
go.
not my.
I'll go with the Gen Zs.
This is
actually.
not my work time. brother.
Because the millennials and the baby bloomers or what are so used to already expecting you to deliver out of time.
They are loyal without
Because you-
anybody being loyal
Yeah,
to them. But
they-
Gen
who
Z, you have
says-
to earn
Who
it.
says
Yes.
loyalty
Yes.
is wrong?
So
Who
the
says
thing is
loyalty
that
is
No,
wrong?
yeah,
if you
it's not
say
wrong, but
if
you
you
have to
say
earn it.
if
Like,
you say
you
my
have to
work
earn my
time is
loyalty.
8 o'clock to 5,
Right.
Let
don't
me leave by
expect
5.
me to stay till 6
No, but
because you
sometimes
expect
you
some
can't-
loyalty
You
from
can't
me.
Do you
dispute
know
that
how
sometimes.
scary it is
Right.
that millennials, they
Yeah.
know that it's 8 to 5.
5,
Once
okay.
it's 5, they want to leave,
Yeah.
but they can't leave
Leave
because
because
there is
they are-
this
yeah.
level
Or maybe the
of
boss is still around.
entitlement
The
that the job
boss is still around.
Yes.
No, please.
Gen Zs will leave.
I like Gen Zs will just.
But it's their
Because
time.
it's in their contract.
Exactly.
It's in their contract. You say 8 to 5,
it was
and it is
some-
8 to 5.
No, but
Then-
It
sometimes.
was strange for me at some point because I just see and then they pick up
So
your bags
I
and
think
start
Gen Zs
and
now
I'm still there in the
have
office
put
7
it-
p.m.
But why would you want to stay when it's past your close
I
hour?
think it's that thing is just the generation.
I don't-
Like it's
yeah.
in our mind.
And
We just
I
feel
think
like, oh, I
Gen
should do
Zs
more,
have
like,
put
oh, they are paying me for
their bosses
Okay,
on
okay,
the toes
okay.
now.
Yeah, I'll go
You
with
can't do
millennials.
anyhow
I agree
with
with
Shay-
you.
Shay wants
You know,
to say
right?
something.
I'll go with millennials.
You can't do anyhow.
Okay.
with the
Why are you
Gen
going
Z.
with
I'll go with
True,
millennials. Because if you have more of Gen Zs in your company, I don't think that company will last.
Why?
Why?
Okay.
Why do you think?
No, I think
Because you have a
you
lot of-
eradicate more of human resources.
That's where emotional
That's where-
intelligence comes in. You can actually take them through emotional intelligence courses and they'll be fine. So you don't
forget
yeah.
that one. Forget that one.
Exactly.
Gen Z they call those emotional intelligence courses like this. It's millennials that is.
But I feel the Nigerian factor is why people don't really like Gen Zs.
Yeah.
Because the bosses feel they should be able to ride you, and a Gen Z will not allow you ride you.
Yes, I agree.
What
Yes.
if you're working
I
on
agree.
tight
They
deadlines?
would.
Toby
Even if
comes
you are working
with
on
a
tight
strong point.
Yes,
Yeah.
Comes with
even
a
if you are
strong
working
point.
on a tight deadlines, they are still human beings. You have to respect their mental health, even if they use that word a lot. But sometimes it is true. You're putting someone.
Let
Yeah.
me explain something to you.
Okay.
An average Gen Z
Yeah.
has a business idea.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Yes.
working for a company.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have a business idea and you expect work-life balance. You have to be a CEO. There's no work-life balance for a CEO.
Okay.
Do you understand?
But the Gen Z in this aspect, I'm saying, is not the CEO.
That's the
It's
thing.
just
That's
normal
the
stuff.
problem that you're going to have in your company, because if when you come in your company, you're going to start thinking of succession.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Because you
And,
build
and you want to
something.
surround yourself
Do
with
you
people
understand what I'm trying to say?
of the
So
same
you think
mindset.
Gen Zs cannot
Cannot
take
exactly take over.
No,
Millennials will eventually retire. Who are the people to take over?
So
the
you
Gen
see,
Zs,
when
the
a
ones
millennial
you are
retire,
not
when a
training.
millennial retire, let me give you an example. So you see a lot of both millennial and baby boomers. They are training their children to do takeover.
Legacy.
And no, it's not. It's beyond legacy. Even though their child is a Gen Z, when it comes to the year the child was giving birth, yeah. But they are
But
instilling-
they're conditioning
Yes,
the
and that's
child.
what I'm saying.
So that's why we are saying.
So
That's why we are saying
no,
that
see.
Nigeria factor is
See,
bad.
No, it's
I'm
not.
saying I'm your child now. I'm your child now. You own a oil company, right?
Yeah.
I want to go into music. A normal baby boomer or a millennial parent will want to force you to take over for that oil company. When normally it is music you want to do. You don't even want, and a Gen Z will tell you straight that
He doesn't want to do
doesn't
that.
want to do that.
You
He
can't
wants
say
to
that
do
because
music.
okay, can you give an example?
Give example of what?
Yes, of a father or a mother that
Yes.
is so rich and their child is trying to go into what
Music.
It happens a lot.
It
Are you?
happens
Are
a lot.
you?
No, you're watching Nigerian film.
No, it's not
It happens a
Nigerian
lot.
film.
It happens a
Nigerian
lot.
film. Can you give an example?
We have
wait,
popular.
give me
We have
example.
popular
Give me
singers.
example.
We have
Give me an
popular
example.
singers.
Example,
Give me
we have to
A
be very
popular
careful.
singer.
Careful, yes.
Intellectual
Exactly.
property rights.
Exactly.
Yes.
But they have
Somebody's
singers that are wealthy, that we
Yes.
know,
Yes.
that sings well, that will tell us that
Their father
my
or
father
their
has the
mother
money,
was
but
not
this
a
is what I
supporter
want
at
to
the
do.
beginning.
But they studied something, right? Maybe
They
towards
studied-
the. I
yeah,
think I
no.
get where he's coming from.
So,
Like the
see,
fact
let
that
me tell you
there's always
something.
that conditioning. Like, okay, this is where we want this child to be. But then you want other things. Does not mean that you're not going to do
So
other
why are you
things.
forcing me to watch
Why
what
do
you
you
want?
why do you
Why do you
why
want?
want to
Exactly.
make
Now,
me do
no,
it?
we are
what
talking
you
about
want.
work,
Why do
please.
you think I
Not
should?
household.
Okay.
Workplace and household are two
There are two different dynamics.
We're
Yeah.
talking about work. We are bringing this context to workplace.
Yes.
Yes.
So if I'm going to build my company, and in my head, as a millennial, I'm thinking my company should last 50 years, 100 years. All right. I want to bring in millennials.
Yeah.
And if you look at some companies have that structure where they have this mentoring.
Yes,
programs
yes,
and
yes.
So
all
yes,
that.
by 5 o'clock, you see a lot of Gen Zs carry their bag and leave.
Yes.
All right. But you see one or two still
Want to stay
sticking around
back.
with the CEO. All right. Maybe the CEO has developed this kind of relationship
Rapport
with
and
them,
yeah.
and he has sold the dream, and he's even maybe grooming.
That's
This
a
person-
different.
that's a
different
No,
dynamic.
that's
I'm
a
saying the
different
workforce
thing.
right now. In the workforce.
See,
And I'm
Do you
bringing
know
it down
there's
to
some other
Nigeria.
Gen Zs that the CEO can approach.
Yes.
And they say, bros, I know they do.
And there are some millennials as well.
Yes.
There are some millennials as well.
On the
that will be approached.
dynamics in the office, and
Yes.
it's like,
So
I
why
don't
I
think
brought it down to Nigeria? It's always that fear of millennials are always scared that if I leave by 5, they will think I'm not serious.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yes.
A Gen Z doesn't care as long as he's delivering on his job. He can leave at
Alright.
the 5.
So I think personally, I think for me,
why
it's
I always
like
keep saying Nigeria is okay. So I work remotely, so I work with a company that is not in Nigeria also. The first time I made close by 4 as in on the remote system. The first time I worked till 5, my team lead said I should not try it again. Your 4 is your 4. Log out even if you have backlogs, because they are not going to pay you for that extra 1 hour. So log out by 4.
so. I think it has something to do with
feel
like
like
it has an advantage and a disadvantage. I think
Yes.
it just depends
So I
on
think
me
I
as an
understand
organizer, like the owner of the company now.
Yeah.
I'll check, I'll do my research, and I'll say,
Okay.
okay, which do I think I can be able to, like you said, mental health, or which will I be like, okay, my company.
And no,
So it's just that
And I
dynamic
feel
for
also
me.
they are thinking
The idea
of
of
just themselves.
succession.
They're not thinking of
Yeah, you're
themselves.
not thinking about the
Start
staff,
until, like,
because
I
if you
think
think of your
97.
staffs, you will not
Yes.
come and implement stringent rule. As in, why will you think? Oh, you
No,
might
because
be
there's a
stated
balance.
in
Yeah.
my
There's a
in my
balance.
Contract.
In your contract, yes.
that I'm working 9 to 5.
5.
It also stated that
And you
Oh, yeah,
expect
specific
Shay,
job.
Yes,
Shay,
yes.
Pascally.
Yeah, exactly.
More than
Shay,
That's
Shay,
what I'm
wait,
saying.
all right,
Depends on
guys.
the
And
kind
you
of
decide.
company
Some
you
people
work
want
for.
to-
Yes.
One
Yes.
house,
Yes,
one house.
depending on
All
the
right.
kind of company
I want
you like
to
to
bring
open.
it down now because we have somehow entered that territory, and it's a territory of job loyalty.
Yeah, I
Between
was
these
gonna
two
say that now.
categories and generations of workforce that we have, who is more loyal?
Millennials are more loyal, but yeah,
Thank
I get.
you.
But
So-
for Gen
So
Z,
In
for
context
that
and in
career
dynamics.
progression.
If
Yeah,
you
yeah,
think
yeah,
about
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
Career progression.
About their growth.
Fine, you can stay. Why will you be loyal and be broke?
And you're not gaining
Excuse
anything.
me. Why would I
I don't
stay in
feel.
this? Why
I
would I
feel
be
there's that
stagnant?
fear in
I want to
millennials. I don't
grow.
know where the
I want
fear
to
comes
move
from.
forward.
I think it's
So-
it has always been
Pressure.
there, I guess.
Yeah, so
It has always
I'm
been
saying
there.
this now
Why would I want
because
to stay?
wonderfully,
Bros,
one of
yeah,
our topics.
those Gen Z did not
Chi-
see what millennials.
Exactly. That's exactly the
Don't talk
point.
about fear.
Exactly the
Because
point.
a millennial is scared that if he messes up and he loses his job, he might not get
Something
Another
else.
one.
Exactly.
A Gen Z knows if he puts his what's name on the table, he will bang another job.
Yes, because he knows what he has. He knows
Yes.
how to get what he wants,
Well,
and he knows that.
look at
Oh,
it
if I put
now.
myself
Look
forward,
at it.
there are
If you are a
opportunities
company,
out
yeah, a
there.
recruiter, someone comes, 30-year-old,
Yeah.
for a job, and that person comes 26-year-old for the same, and they have the same. You go for the 26 because you want to use the person more. So,
Yeah.
Oh, you are
Yes,
accepting that
yes,
now.
yes. Okay,
It's
so
not their
we
part.
can all
Alright.
agree,
Do you
but
understand?
let's
Yeah,
bring
I
it,
agree
let's
to
bring it,
disagree.
let's bring it down and say that the Gen Zs are more loyal to their career development.
Yes.
Yes.
themselves.
Why
Themselves.
the millennials can be job loyal? And when I say job loyal, they
And
they
it's a
can come into an
disadvantage.
organization.
They grow a
Wait,
kind of
they can
attachment
exactly.
to the
They can
job,
come into
right?
an
There's this
organization and say
sentiment that they have, like, oh, my boss, probably my boss is nice to me.
exactly
Maybe
based on their
there's somebody-
experience.
yes.
They can extend their stay and say, okay, I'll postpone my exams.
Well, I feel
or
like
my
the
this or
Gen
my
Z is
that.
more healthier because they can have a conversation. I don't have a problem with you.
Yes.
I love your job. You're doing great, but I need to move forward.
no,
I believe that I need to carry.
What you don't understand is
What?
that when you look at the millennials and the Gen Z, the millennials, when the Gen Z comes to work, he's just here for his work and he's out of
And
the
out
office.
of the office,
The
right?
millennial want to connect with people.
I know you don't
Connect
need
with
some.
people.
At some
Okay.
point you don't
All
need
right,
to-
guys.
Bro,
All right.
Just you can get to the job.
Connecting with my
Oh,
family.
yeah.
We need to connect.
You put you on the table.
Okay, so,
All right.
so there are
That side.
professional connections that you need to
Need to
have.
have,
But
yeah.
do you know that Gen Zs know how to ask for their favors? I
Yes.
feel like millennials want to be in the good books of everybody.
Every time,
They're
as
people
in-
Okay.
that-
Not
So,
all the
what-
time.
Nimi,
Not all the
Carry
time.
Carry has
Okay.
something
No,
to
no,
say.
All right,
Carry
guys.
has
All
something
right.
to
So
say.
I know that everybody has an opinion, one or two. We have, like I said, there's always an advantage and a disadvantage. It's just
True that.
which will I prefer to go through first before the other because
Yeah.
they always come hand in hand, right? So let's bring it down. Let's let's die it down because it's getting too heated here, right? So
this
I
is the
think
final one. The
in
final discussion.
conclusion, right?
Yes.
In conclusion, we can all agree that both generations can work.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
There can be a balance.
Yes, there can be a balance. It's just striking,
balance.
yes, just
Finding that
striking
balance.
that and finding it and striking that balance. So I think to me, personally for me, I will just round it up by saying personally for me, I think I've always have the idea that I want to leave when it's 5 o'clock. I don't want extra time. Please don't give me extra time,
I'm
right?
a millennial, right? But I have
don't
that
give me
mindset
exactly.
too.
Don't give me extra time, right? So I think we can all learn from the Gen Z part of the workforce,
We
right?
can
So-
all come
We can
together
infuse
And just like
learn
make it
from each
work.
other, pick from.
Pick from.
All right, guys. So, like you have all heard from our guest here, they have one or two things to say about it. But I know you all have something to say too. So why don't you go down to the comment section, see what you have to say? You know, we're not holding you back. We need that banter.
We need
We need-
plenty
to give.
banter.
We need that banter.
Because
So
I know-
give us your ideas.
If you
I
are
know
a
a
Gen
lot of.
Z, say Gen Z. I support the Gen Z.
I
Those
know,
guys
right?
are not saying it as it is. Want to see it on the comment section.
Yes, and don't forget to, show us love, follow us on all our social media platforms
As
and
displayed on the screen.
As displayed, of
on the
course.
screen.
and make sure that you join us next time as we bring you more exciting topics, right? We love you and be safe out there.
Bye.
Bye.
Bridge Gap Consults, revamping the workforce.